How just generally would you appraise the first half of basically your rookie season in Sprint Cup?
Well, I asked that very question to Tony Stewart last week. Well, because I want to know what he thinks, and he's the boss at the end of the day, but also does the same thing I do. So I asked him what he thought and what I need to work on, and what he expects out of me, and he said, I think you're doing a good job. And he's like, if I thought there was a problem or something that I noticed you needed to work on, I would have came over and asked if I could help. And he's like, but I think you're doing a great job, and I think that as a team we need to keep working on these cars and making them better for all of us, but I'll let you know. And so, I mean, I think that's the best judge, right?
If your boss is okay.
If the boss is happy, and if the boss thinks that I'm doing a good job, then I feel like that's the most important answer.
How steep has the learning curve been getting into these cars now? And now you've got a new car this year.
I think that it was the steepest in Nationwide, and which, everybody recommended that I do Nationwide before Cup, and I mean, at first I thought I'd just come in and you just do Cup, right? And you just get into it. And but I was like, you know what? Everybody's saying the same thing. I should probably listen. So that's why I did Nationwide for so long, and it was absolutely the right thing to do. And I feel like I learned a lot about the cars and how they work, and it's only continued to improve. But there was a good enough baseline of feeling from the Nationwide series that helped me kind of get going in Cup respectably.
Right. But what is the biggest challenge? Your first, I don't want to say your first year, really your second year, but your first year full time in Sprint Cup. What is the biggest challenge making the transition to this sport?
It's kind of easy to overdrive these cars, and it's easy to press the issue, and it's easy to try for more than what's there. And I feel like what I'm really learning this year more than any year is you just have to race the car that you've got, and you have to race the race, and just you are where you are in the end, and forcing the issue leads to trouble most of the time, and it doesn't make you any faster. So that's why, as a driver, it's frustrating because sometimes the harder you drive, the slower you go. In fact, most of the time that's the case, and that's why you'll hear stories about people saving, drivers saving fuel, and they go just as fast, if not faster. Well, that's because you were driving too hard. So there's a lot of different ways that you can try too hard in the business, and these cars are easy to overdrive more so than what I'm coming from IndyCar. So I feel like that's just kind of like an overall lesson I'm learning.
Are you happy you made the move from IndyCar?
I'm really happy. I have fun driving these cars. I have a lot of fun racing these cars. I enjoy all the people that I work with, and I had a nice transition from IndyCar through part-time NASCAR and into Cup of the schedule, because it is full on in Sprint Cup. It is, it's not only more racing. You're there one more day every weekend, and you have more race weekends in total. But then there's tons of testing on top of it, and they're all 2-day tests. And when you race every single weekend, all of a sudden your week is gone. So there are Monday meetings that take an hour or two every time, and so I've been in Charlotte a lot and have gone to them. So there's something to do almost every single day. So I'm glad I had the transition I did to get to this point, because it would have been overwhelming a while back.
Where do you think the Kyle Petty stuff came from?
I don't know. Where do you think? I'm curious what you think. Why?
You want to know what I think?
Yeah.
I think that when you're a male in this business, let's put it this way: Sam Hornish, his rookie year in NASCAR was 37th. Montoya was 20th. Frank Keedy was 33rd. You didn't hear any of that stuff when they were. I just think you're a lightning rod. And so I think that you're just an easy target in many ways. What do you think?
I think that that's partly the case, and it's when there's something opinionated said about me, everybody's got their opinion, and everybody has the reaction to those opinions. So I'm not 100% sure. If that's how he feels, then so be it. If he did it for attention, then so be it. That's his cross to bear, not mine. So I actually felt like, if I can be really honest, I actually felt like it gave people an opportunity to to say why he was wrong, which was very kind, I thought. There were people that did that, and so I actually felt like there were just as many positive stories that came out of it as the negative that flew around.
Do you ever get tired of being in this position where, you know, it's a Wednesday, you got to come out early, you got to do the car wash, nobody else really has to do that? Or in all honesty, I think there are some times that I feel tired and I feel like I don't necessarily like have the energy, or you know, I'd rather be somewhere else. You know, I'd rather be on a beach, of course, but like I'm sure you would rather be on a beach right now too. Golf course, golf
or
course.
A golf course, yeah. Which is where Ricky is right now. You know, I wouldn't even mind just driving the golf cart. But I never feel like I wish that I didn't have to do this, because I feel lucky that I have the opportunity to do it. And it's not like we do it for everything, we do it for the special events. And Indy 500 was always a special event for me, and that's why the Brickyard 400 is a special event for me. So we don't do it all the time, but I feel fortunate that we can have these kinds of events, and people will, you know, do want to come and ask me questions, because that's what keeps GoDaddy happy, that's what keeps all the other sponsors happy, and that's what keeps my brand out there, and me as a driver. So there are a lot of upside to it, and so while I sometimes wish I was somewhere else, you know, I'm fortunate to be in this position. So,
what do you think your best quality is right now as a sprint car driver, sprint cup driver?
I would say that probably my best quality is that I want help, and I ask for help, and I don't feel like I know what I'm doing yet, and I'm open-minded to opinions about what to do or how to be better. And so I never, you know, I just didn't come into this thinking, well, I raced 7 years of IndyCar, like I've been around forever, I know how to drive a race car. I came into it and said, I have no idea what I'm doing, and I really didn't. I probably even underestimated how little I knew about driving in a stock car. So I still am of the same opinion.
Are you still waiting for that same feeling you had after Motegi?
Oh, sure, yeah. You're still waiting for that feeling of like relief and excitement and winning. You know, shoot, these days the only kind of winning I do is at the gym when I'm competing at, you know, in my CrossFit gyms. But it's everybody's shooting for that, and it's very hard. And so I'm sure there's a lot of people that could say that.
Is this a good track? I mean, it was a good track for you, obviously. It's an IndyCar driver. Is this stack up as a good track for you as a sprint cup driver? You know,
obviously I did the nationwide race last year, and you know, it's that whole going back to the lesson of don't press the issue. I pressed the issue and I got mad, and you know, I crashed out and didn't get to run the whole race, so I didn't get all the experience I could have in the nationwide series. So I'm not sure. I hope so. I feel very fortunate to have, you know, every time a big event comes along, they tend to be things that, you know, events that I do well at. So I hope that is the case.
How's life with Ricky?
It's good. It's good. He is on the golf course today. He went golfing with my dad and my sister's husband. So
very nice.
Yeah. So
I got to think. I mean, just like only riders really understand other riders. I got to think it's kind of the same way in your position. Only other drivers really know what you deal with on a regular basis. You kind
of get with those times where you just shut up, and you get the times that you leave him alone, or the times that you just let him talk, or the times that you challenge something, or you try and help him be better, you know, like he does to me. And you know, it's the same. You know, sometimes it's about solutions, or you just want some advice, or sometimes you just want someone to hear all your problems and go, okay.
Now you guys got to stop wrecking each other.
No. It's amazing how many times we didn't even come close to anything ever before. And you know, I think it's because we're kind of in a similar spot. He's kind of running, you know, he's like been around, you know, 18th, 20th, and I've been around like 22nd, 25th a lot, and like it's just when those kind of paths cross, and I'm running a little bit better, or he's running a little bit worse, or
just in the same vicinity.
You're just kind of in the same vicinity, and it's such that area is like, everybody's so cutthroat in that area. It's like if you can just get up into that top 15, it's just like cruising. Yeah. People just, they get that you don't need to rush, and it will everything will just happen like it does, and the drivers are more confident and comfortable, and everybody kind of back there, you're all trying to fight for everything you can, and so it gets to be a lot of work. And I just got to not be that person.
Just got to not, yeah.
Yeah, you just have to let the race be what it is. And that's, I feel like that's the lesson I'm learning this year. And it just seems like sometimes when you just let it be what it is, all of a sudden you're like, holy crap, how'd that happen today?
It's good. That's how Kanaan described it when he won here. He just,
Yeah.
he stopped trying to push the issue and it just happened.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.